In Lagos, Nigeria, on a bright Monday morning, people gathered in front of a big bank called First Royal Bank. The air was filled with laughter as customers whispered among themselves, pointing at a man who looked out of place. He was wearing an old blue shirt with torn sleeves and dusty black trousers. His shoes had holes, and he held a worn-out bag. People looked at him and shook their heads. How could such a man claim to be the owner of the biggest bank in Lagos? It was funny to them. C.K. Kirby, the man in the old clothes, stood in front of the bank with a calm face. He watched as security guards whispered and laughed. The bank manager, a tall man with a neatly pressed suit, stepped outside with a smirk. "Sir, I think you are lost," he said, looking C.K. Kirby up and down. "This is First Royal Bank, and we do not give handouts here." A woman in a red dress laughed loudly. "Maybe he thinks this is a charity house," she said, shaking her head. The crowd roared with laughter. People clapped their hands, enjoying the scene. C.K. Kirby did not laugh. He simply reached into his old bag and brought out a piece of paper. He handed it to the bank manager without saying a word. The manager took the paper and read it. His smile slowly disappeared. His face turned pale. His hands started shaking. He read the paper again. Then he looked at C.K. Kirby, his eyes wide with shock. The paper was a legal document showing that C.K. Kirby was the real owner of the bank. He had bought it many years ago but had stayed away to live a simple life. Now he had returned. The laughter died down. The woman in the red dress covered her mouth. The security guard stood still, confused. Customers who had been making fun of C.K. Kirby felt embarrassed. The bank manager swallowed hard and cleared his throat. "Sir. I did not know," he stammered, bowing his head. "Please forgive me." C.K. Kirby looked at him and sighed. "You judged me because of my clothes," he said softly. "But wealth is not in what you wear. True riches are in the heart." His voice was calm, but his words carried power. People nodded slowly, realizing their mistake. Some looked at the ground, ashamed. The bank doors were opened for C.K. Kirby. He walked inside, and everyone followed quietly. Inside the bank, workers stood up from their seats, shocked to see him. They had all heard the story by now. C.K. Kirby went straight to the manager's office and sat down in the big leather chair. The same chair that the bank manager had been sitting in minutes ago. For a moment, there was silence. Then C.K. Kirby smiled. "From today, things will change," he said. "This bank will not only serve the rich but will also help the poor. We will make sure everyone is treated with respect." The workers clapped their hands, some with tears in their eyes. They had seen a miracle before their very eyes. As C.K. Kirby stepped out of the office, a little boy in ragged clothes ran up to him. "Sir, does this mean even someone like me can have a bank account?" the boy asked, his big eyes full of hope. C.K. Kirby bent down and placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "Yes," he said with a warm smile. "Everyone deserves a chance." The boy grinned, and the crowd clapped again, this time with joy and admiration. The same people who had laughed at C.K. Kirby now cheered for him. Outside the bank, the sun shone brightly, as if celebrating the moment. C.K. Kirby walked away, his head held high. He had proven that a person's worth is not in their clothes but in their actions. And from that day on, First Royal Bank became known as the Bank of the People, where everyone was treated with dignity and respect. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and share.